To buy or not to buy a new power supply? That's always the question, right? Power supplies are very inexpensive, but they're also kind of simple to fix. Sometimes they have fuses, sometimes they don't. This one does not have a fuse. This one here does have a fuse. You see the fuse right there. Um, there could be many things that are wrong with this, between the coils, caps, resistors, and whatnots. Um, there could be lots of things wrong with this thing. Best thing to do is just sort of look, do a visual, and see what's going on. And right off the top, I can see that these two caps right here have been mushroomed out. They're not supposed to be curved like that. They're supposed to be nice and flat, like these right here. You know, so if you have caps that are pushed out like that, these are bad. If you replace these, there's a good chance this power supply will be fine. If it doesn't, there's something else that's making these two caps blow out, or explode like that, or mushroom out. Then you can try to figure out what is making that. But then that goes into more work. Like I said, this power supply is about $30 to buy brand new. Do you really want to spend that much time? I mean, depending on how much you make an hour or whatever, I don't know. Sometimes it's worth. I mean, these two caps, if I have them, I can replace them. That should take me minutes. That's worth it. This one over here, you don't really see too much. The fuse looks good. All the caps here look good. These caps are kind of covered, so it's hard to tell whether they're mushroomed up. They look flat. They look nice and flat. So chances are these caps are good. So I'll probably have to dig deeper into this one to see what could possibly be wrong with this one and why it doesn't want to power up. But it's just the things we have to do. So I'm just going to try a few things. I'm going to try to replace the caps on these bad boys. That should take me a few minutes. If I can make this one work by replacing those caps, great. Then I've saved myself $30, and I can put this on the shelf and save it for a different time. I'm gonna mess around with this one for a little bit. If I can't figure it out, these caps do feel a little pushed up a little bit. I guess if I peel these off, I hate to peel it off, because if they're good, then I'm damaging myself. So I'll try to replace them. I'll try to look at something. If I can fix it within, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, then great. I'll put it on the shelf as a spare. But other than that, just buy yourself a brand new power supply. If you just hold on to these, and then one day when you're not doing anything and you're bored, you can take the time to repair them. But in my opinion, if it's going to take more than 15-20 minutes to repair the power supply, just get a new one, throw it away, and move on to the next thing. So let's see what we can do about these power supplies. If we can fix them, great. If not, then they're trash and we get new ones. Let's try. All right, so I found some new caps. So we're looking at 330 microfarads at 200 volts. So that's what we need to replace it with. We need to replace it with the same one. So here are a couple of 330 microfarads at 200 volts. Yeah, they're slightly smaller, but as long as it's the same 330 microfarads, 200 volts, it should be fine. The fact that they're different sizes doesn't make a difference. It's all about the microfarads and the voltage. So voltage is the same, microfarads are the same, so everything should be the same. So I've already unsoldered it, so we can just kind of pull these off and then put the new one in, and then solder those bad boys back in. If you're wondering what side is what, even though it says 0 here, this is the positive side. So if you look at this one, it's got a 1. It's the positive side. This is always going to be the positive side, and your positive side is always going to be here. Just make a note of where this line is. If it's on the other side, make sure that it's on the other side. But it should always have some type of marking to tell you which side is the positive side, and this right here would be the positive side. So we're just going to put that back together just like that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and remove this one and solder these bad boys back on. If you don't know how to solder or desolder, I will make a video for that at a later time. So let's get these bad boys done. All right, so these are soldered in. Next thing to do is, if you notice that we got a lot of white paste here, I had to remove these from the heat sinks. So I'm just gonna reheat sink paste it, put some more paste on here on the heat sinks, whatever you want to call this stuff, heat sink paste, thermo grease, whatever it's called. Just gonna put some on there, clean this off, put some on there, so that way it cools down the way it's supposed to. If you don't have enough thermal grease on there, it could overheat, and then you're gonna have more problems. So let's go ahead and throw some on there and see what happens. Okay, so I got it all back together, all the screws are back in, thermal paste is on, it's sealed, it's good to go. Let's just plug it in and see what happens. What we want is for no smoke to pop up. We want the green light to turn on. So let's see, will it turn on or will it blow up on my desk? Well, I got a green light. That's a good thing. So let's test to make sure that we actually have power. Let's put one of our leads into the negative, and we'll touch the other one into the positive. So let me sit there, and as you can see right here, I have my 12 volts. Do both the legs have 12 volts? So I'm going to switch to this one. There. And yep, I got 12 volt there. 12 volt there. Do both my grounds work? That ground works. All right. Well, this power supply I think is good to go. I can actually probably slap this one back into my stack that I have there for Monster Drop. But the reason I made this video is just to show you repairing a power supply. Is it worth it, or is it worth just getting a new one? Like I said, this particular power supply right here I bought on Amazon for $30. So I mean, did I really need to repair it? This was a simple repair. Just had two bad caps. It took me minutes to repair that, and then that was it. Will this one be the same? I don't know. So far, everything looks good to me. The fuse looks good. The caps look okay. They feel a little mushroomed up, but they don't look very mushroomed up. They look pretty flat to me. I think if you're seeing any type of curvature, it's because of that the slick plastic on the side, on the top of it. It looks like it's got a curve, but the more you angle it, the flatter it looks. So I don't know how long it would take to do this one. This one wasn't that bad because it took me a total of maybe 20 minutes to fix this, and then that's it. And now that it's fixed, I can either put it on my shelf for spare, for backup, or I can put it back into the power stack that it actually belongs to. It fits in here, the 12 volts, and then this will be a complete power supply for Monster Drop, which is probably what I'll do now that it's repaired. But I do want to show you that, just because I repaired this one did not take me very long. It took me maybe 20 minutes, probably less than that to repair it. You can see right here that the power supply only cost $35, so $34.50. Was it worth me repairing it? Yeah, because it only took me a few minutes, not very long. This one right here, always start with visuals. I can't see anything wrong. The fuse looks okay, the caps look okay, even though they're curved. They look kind of curved. When you kind of look at them, they look very flat. I think it's just the plastic that's on top of it that it looks like it's curved, but it's not. Not all of them have that plastic on top of it. Some of them just metal like this. You can see how it's bulged out, and you can't really see that bulge on these. So I might actually have to start doing meter testing, but I don't want to waste too much time. If it's a simple fix, hey, the fuse is blown, change the fuse, boom, all right, great. These are bad, change those, no problem, great. If I had some of these little tiny caps that were bad, I would change those. Maybe a few little resistors, sure. These things like that, it's not worth it, because I don't have these parts on hand. I don't have that. I don't have these. I barely even have these on hand, so I have to buy them. So is it worth it? Not really. If it's like a quick fix and you have the parts, or if you're just kind of throwing some power supplies into a box for a project later on down the road, okay, fine, that's great. But other than that, just go ahead and buy a new power supply. Sometimes it's worth fixing it, sometimes it's not. This one was worth it. That one right there might not be worth it. But reason for this video is just to show you that some power supplies can be repaired, and then some power supplies are just not worth repairing. So you just buy yourself a new power supply and everything should be fine. So I hope this helps you out with power supplies, either purchasing a new one or repairing the one that you have. Hey, Thanks for watching.